We play and call it work.
Hey folks, Janene from MiniWarGaming here with another how-to video for ya. In this video, we're going to continue our work on this Khador Destroyer Warjack by doing the metal step. Now we're going to paint a very highly distressed silver. However, we're going to go a different way of weathering it, which is not going to include any sort of rust. As always, if you have suggestions for something you want to see in a future how-to video, please leave them down below in the comments. Now we're going to begin by doing an all-over layer on all of the parts that we want to have silver. So we're going to use lead belcher. However, lead belcher is a little bit too shiny to start out with. I'm going to mix my lead belcher paint with a little bit of Abaddon black in about a 50-50 ratio. I'm also going to add a drop or two of Lamian medium just so I get a really nice flow to my paint. Once I have this mixed, I'm just going to apply it as an all-over layer on anywhere that I want to have silver. So the majority of this gun arm, I'm also going to do the fist holding the axe, all of the gears and inner workings that are underneath the red plates, this back casing of his engine I want to have silver. I'm also going to leave a few plates of this leg section red. However, I'm going to paint the majority of it silver as well. Here you can see the destroyer after we've gotten that all over layer on all of the pieces of metal. The fact that I mixed my lead belcher with a little bit of black, you can see that it really toned down the shine of the metallic and made it a little bit more faded. And that's going to give us a really nice base layer to work with this kind of faded metal look. Our next step is to take pure lead belcher, and we're going to sponge this on using a little piece of blister foam or a piece of rolled up paper towel. Just something that's going to give us a soft surface with a natural texture to it. So I'm going to dab my paper towel into my paint. I'm going to wipe a little bit of the excess off so it's not too heavy, and then I'm just going to lightly start sponging this onto all of my silver areas. And as I do this, you're really going to see the color difference between that lead belcher and the lead belcher I toned down with all that black paint. So I'm really just applying this to any large surface area in order to break up the color. And adding these dings and these levels of high shine versus low shine is really going to start to make the metal look like it's a little bit beat up. Here's the metal after I finish that sponging process. I'll give it a twirl so you can see it on all the surfaces. The next step is going to be to do the same process with a non-metallic paint that's a great deal brighter than what we already have on the Mini. So in this case, it's going to be Celestra Gray. And I'm going to sponge this on in the same way that I did with the lead belcher. I don't want to cover the metal too heavily. This is just going to simulate some areas of white corrosion, kind of like what you'd see on galvanized steel that's had some water damage on it. I chose to go with this method of weathering the metal simply because there's so much red in the armor of the Warjack that I didn't want to add rust to the metal because I thought that that would be too many warm colors and it would make the metal blend into the rest of the armor plating. Here's the Mini after we've added the sponging of Celestra Gray. Next we're going to go through and we're going to take our lead belcher again and we're just going to pick out all of the rivets on the plates around the Mini. I went ahead and added a little bit of Lamian medium to my paint, and I'm just going to take my detail brush and pick out the tops of these rivets. That's really going to make the armor plates come to life a little bit to add that little pop of color differentiation. I'm also going to just quickly paint these spikes on the axe hand as well. Once we've got our rivets painted, we're going to add a few shades onto our metal just to make all the colors blend together and to add a little bit of an oily tint to the silver. So we're going to use Agrax Earthshade and Fugan Orange. And we are going to blend these two together while they're still wet. Now I don't want to add these on very thickly. I just kind of want to put down a thin layer of this Agrax Earthshade, and then while it's still drying, I want to add in a dab of the Fugan Orange and let them blend together on the metal. I'm not necessarily worried about making sure I control how they blend. I'm just using the natural flow of the paint to create a very natural shade for me. Alright, and here is the silver stage complete. It's one more method that you can use for painting weathered metal that doesn't necessarily include rust, but it still looks old and beaten down. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more how-to videos, I have another one where I'm going to go through adding some black elements to this Warjack in the MiniWarGaming vault, and the link down below in the description. If you don't already have a vault membership, you can click the link, sign up for a 7-day free trial, and get access to my video as well as hundreds of other videos in the MiniWarGaming vault. So go ahead, click the link, start your free trial, and happy wargaming!